Well, hello. Welcome, everybody. We have Miss Ruth Fagley here from RVP Insurance, and she's going to be one of our presenters at our expo that we have coming up March 3rd and 4th. We'll tell you all about that in a little bit. But, Ruth, go ahead and tell us all about you and RVP Insurance.
Well, RVP Insurance is a independent health insurance brokerage. I started it a few years ago with the desire to help, especially companies, because there's not always a one-size-fits-all in health insurance. There's individual coverage, there's group coverage, and then you have Medicare as people age. So I wanted to be able to support the entire industry so I could give people their options and even look at potentially a progression as they build their company of going maybe from individual coverage up to a group plan so they can offer benefits to their employees. I've actually been in the insurance industry for over 30 years. I spent most of that time in corporate America, and insurance companies, health plans were all my clients, and supported all elements of it. And just decided I wanted to go out on my own and be able to work with entrepreneurs and people and help them educate so they can make good, wise decisions.
Well, that's wonderful. We are super excited to have you join us. The thing that I loved about talking with you when I met you in Denton was that the worst mistake I ever made was going onto Google and Googling health
Yes.
insurance.
And you got a million phone calls for the next year.
Phone calls, emails. I mean, I was blocking left and right, and I did not know what happened because it was actually my assistant that did it. She was just trying to help me out, and she Googled it and wanted a free quote. And I mean, I didn't know what was going on. Something like 75 calls in 10 minutes.
Yes. And the funny thing is, because I go out and do a lot of research and I keep up on the industry, I also get those. So I understand. Been there, and I don't do that. I treat everybody with respect, and sometimes it's just they need to hear my opinion of something, and we try and get them in, help them understand what the right options are for them so they can make an informed decision and me not tell them what they need.
Right, exactly. I'm sure that insurance is much like I equate everything to buying houses and real estate investors. No two deals are alike. No two real estate investors are alike. No two tax returns are alike. So it's very independent. And I really like that I have someone like you to go to and ask the questions. And if you don't know the answer, you can go figure it out for me, and you can do the research and then bring back to me my options and let me make the best informed decision I can for myself.
And that's exactly, what I founded my agency on and what we do. And I'm very excited to get to know you all with Impact. I've been to the Denton meeting, and unfortunately have conflicts with some of the others, but I'm really excited for March 3rd and 4th.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Ruth. Well, I'm going to take you off here and bring somebody else on. And thank you so much for joining us. And
thank you, Karen.
You're very welcome. We will see you on the 3rd and 4th.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I fixed my camera, guys. I had the privacy switch turned on by accident. So, all right, here we go. We're going to bring on Christian and Jenna. And I'm going to take myself off. If I can figure out how to do that. Nope. Two presenters.
So close.
Okay, well, I was off before. Anyway, let's see. If I stop my cam, will it take me off? Nope. I'll just take
just hang out with us.
Okay, I'll just hang out with y'all.
Yeah.
All right, let me get y'all's phone numbers put up here. Jenna and Christian. Okay, guys. We have Jenna Honeycutt.
Honeycutt.
I had it right. And Christian Alva from Allegiance Title. And I guess you are more known as Byers and Taylor. Is that right? Or kind of explain that to me.
Yeah, so we're Byers and Taylor. We're a fee attorney for Allegiance Title, but we are definitely pushing the Byers and Taylor brand out there. And I'm in the Fort Worth office, and Jenna is in Mansfield.
Awesome. Well, great. We're glad to have you guys with us today. So tell me about Allegiance and Byers and Taylor and how you guys are different and what all kind of different nuances of strategies can you help real estate investors close?
Jenna, you want to go? You want me to take it?
You can go for it. It's all you.
No, we are incredibly investor friendly. That's even one of the reasons that we wanted to do this. We deal with, we got a ton of different underwriters that we work with. And so we will make sure that we are making the deal happen with the right underwriter that will have the most efficient effect on it. And then with investors, we do a lot of different things. So we do double closings and assignments and some different stuff that maybe other title companies don't do. And so we always want to make sure that we're going above and beyond helping everybody get their deal done. And then our big thing too is treating everybody the same. Of course, everybody wants the big contract, right? But at the end of the day, we want to build relationships, and we know that sometimes that comes with big contracts, small contracts, difficult ones, easy ones, and everything in between. And so for us, even though so many people say it, we actually walk the talk. And so if we say that we're going to do something, we're going to do it. We like working with our friends and doing all that stuff. So in the middle of working with investors, we like to build friendships with them that even go outside of the office and do all that. And we put our best foot forward as much as we can.
Well, that's so important. And I want to also bring up the fact that you got to answer your phones. I know it's not you guys, but that's the biggest complaint that I get whenever I refer people out. They'll say, oh, I've tried them, but they don't answer the phone. So I'm just saying, hey, everybody out there, if you're in the service industry or if you are a real estate investor, why would you waste your opportunity by not answering the phone or not returning a phone call? It's so very important for us to communicate. I had Casey Smith on, came into Real Impact Plano and spoke with us last week, and she does transaction coordination. And I was absolutely amazed at what her service provides and how lucrative it is that you work with your investor, with your title company, and make sure that you're asking the right questions and making sure that you're giving the right answer. Transparency is key. And if you'll just tell somebody, this is what I am trying to accomplish, this is what I want to make sure happens, then you can be advised and take that advice and say, okay, this is how we're going to do it. This is how it needs to be done, because we don't ever want to come across as doing anything illegal or unethical.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of new people especially get, they don't really know those fine lines. And I've run into it a lot with myself. I've had to cut myself off from working with certain people because they weren't exactly ethical, and I wasn't willing to risk my reputation.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the big thing too that you hit on there is being transparent. Like we have no problem saying, especially as reps, we might not know all the things as well as the escrow officers,
right?
But no problem saying, hey, I don't know. Either let me put you in contact with Tiffany or Misty or whoever, or let me call them and find out, and I'll get right back to you in 10 minutes.
Exactly.
So that's been a big deal, I think, for us, and even building trust with people.
Yes, absolutely. It's funny because I always ask for as much information as I can.
Yeah.
And I found myself in a position here a while back where I asked this wholesaler if he had a survey. Does the seller have a survey? And he said, what's a survey? And then he said, you know what? You're the first person that's ever asked me for a survey. Let me see if I can find out. I said, look, it doesn't make or break the deal. It's just, it's kind of a complicated property. There were 3 properties on one lot.
Yeah.
And I said, if they can provide the survey, that will just keep me from having to buy it later, or my buyer from having to purchase it later. And it just gives a little more value, if you will. And I don't ever see a problem with that. Just ask. Sometimes they have it over in the filing cabinet, or they can contact the company that sold them that did the appraisal, survey.
Yeah.
And just say, hey, can I get a copy of my survey? Because that person that bought it legally owns it. So they don't have to give it to me. But if it's already been done and nothing's changed, why do we buy another one? So that's great. Well, Ruth, what about you?
Oh, me, Jenna?
I'm sorry, Jenna.
No, you're fine.
Jenna.
Yeah.
Wait. I want to say something real quick, Jenna, before you go on, because I feel like you won't talk about it.
Uh-oh.
If you want to ever see a singing title rep, you need to go to Byers and Taylor Mansfield page and blow those videos up.
Are you a singing?
No, I'm tone deaf. It's
good.
It's awful. So I don't put it on the Byers and Taylor page. I put it on my page.
Oh, is it on your page? Oh, Jenna Honeycutt thing. Go to her page.
I think some people would have a problem with me putting it on our work page because it's that bad. So yes, I do rewrite lyrics to songs to try to get people's attention, and they told me to be different and to stand out. So
you did.
Exactly. But what everything Christian said, I will say, being a fee attorney office, having John and Wayne just available is amazing. They're both great guys. I say that in front of them, and they don't pay me to. I say it when they're not around. They're just really good guys who care and want to help. So even if it's just a quick question or, something's tricky and we don't have the contract, but we're always happy to help. And those two guys are really awesome. So working with them, being in the title industry is a huge blessing. Just to have really strong leadership from them and our escrow officers to set out and to be different than others.
Okay, good points. All good points. I don't get paid to talk up to people that I work with either. If they're not good people, I don't work with them. So
exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about what Christian was mentioning earlier, and either one of you are free to jump in on this. You were talking about the different, like y'all close sub 2 transactions. One of the questions I get most often is, hey, I'm in this city. I need a title company that's investor friendly. I need to close a sub 2 deal, or I need to do a double close, or what have you. What area or areas do you guys service?
So we're all throughout Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So anywhere in Texas, we can get a deal done here. Yeah.
That's one thing that I tell people. I'm like, look, you're focusing on the wrong things. Find a title company. Doesn't matter where they're located, and ask them, hey, I'm doing a deal in this, podunk town of 500 people. Can you close it for me? It may take a little longer from what I understand, depending on the county. Most of what I've done is is electronic. So I never have, the title company doesn't have to leave their office. I don't have to leave my office. It's all done electronically. But in some counties, it requires a person going to the courthouse. And so from my experiences, they just coordinate with the local title company there. And of course, there might be a little more expense. There might be a little bit of a delay is mostly what I experienced. It may take 2 weeks longer because you've got to get somebody to get up off their butt, go to the courthouse and do the work for you. But that's why I, as an investor, do my best to work with my title company and say, hey, I want to streamline this. What are you going to need in 2 weeks? I want to go ahead and give myself or my investor that information now. Hey, they're going to need a copy of your corporate documents. Number one, if you don't have corporate documents, what can I use instead? Oh, you're buying it in your own name? We just need your social security card, copy of your ID, whatever. But a lot of times that becomes an issue later on. We had one where we were dealing with, it was actually with Gabi, and she's not on now, but the buyer, we got, I think, about 2 weeks in and realized that he wasn't on the LLC. It was his mom's LLC, and he was doing the deal. It was his deal, but his mom was the signer, and she was gone to Mexico.
Small problem.
Yeah, a little issue.
Just a little bit, just small problem. So anyway, it's just those things, and I'm glad that you guys are there to kind of deal with that. But I agree, transparency. Especially when you guys bring on a new person, sends you a contract, you've never worked with them before. I assume that y'all have a conversation with them and say, just get to know them. How do you want things to go down? How do you, are you going to need a mobile notary? Or are you insistent on coming in person and having a sit down and sign all the documents? Are they using a lender? We've had one that's supposed to be a cash buyer, and they brought in a lender. Like, oh, I need this, and this because my lender wants it. I'm like, what lender? What lender? That's a huge deal. That changes things completely. We go from a 2-week close to a 30 to 45 day close. So again, have a discussion. If you're working with someone new for the first time, make sure they know this is what I need. These are my expectations. Can you work with that? If you can't, who can you refer me to? Are there any deals you guys don't touch?
I mean, if it's illegal, we don't do anything illegal. No, I think that's one of the cool things about having a good amount of underwriters is we're pretty flexible. And then we're honest. If we can't do a deal, we just tell you, hey, we can't do this deal. But I haven't come across anything in my time here that I've seen that we've not been able to do. And in fact, we just had one right now. I have a deal going on that's in Houston or in Fort Worth, and an investor guy, and he's trying to get something done that another title company couldn't do. And it looks like we're going to be able to get it done for them. So stuff like that, like we just try to accommodate and do those kinds of things. And I would love to take credit for that, but it's all the escrow officers. I don't know what they're doing. I just find the people. So we make it work and work as a team for sure.
Right. Well, I appreciate the fact that if you can't handle something that you will let them know, we can't do it. And this is why.
Yeah.
Because I didn't always know this, that different underwriters and different businesses have different requirements.
Yeah.
So just because I can't meet all the requirements for this lender or this company doesn't mean it can't be done. It just can't be done with that one.
Exactly.
So I appreciate that you guys are, upfront and honest and try to do your best. And if you can't help, that you refer them to somebody else or tell them why you can't. And that y'all can actually take on some that others couldn't close.
Yeah.
And that just depends on your attorneys and your underwriters and what risk they're willing to take. So great. Well, we look forward to having you guys on March 3rd and 4th at the Expo there in Denton, and look forward to meeting y'all in person. And it's going to be great. We're super excited about it. I cannot tell you what goes into getting these things put together. It's hard enough getting a meeting put together for 30 people, but we're 150 people. We have to have the parking. We have to have the room, the venue.
Yeah.
So it's food. We got to feed everybody. But we're looking forward to it, and a lot of us are gonna be staying at the Spring Hill Suites, which is where the meeting the expo is gonna be taking place. So looking forward to having some wine on Friday night. So if y'all are staying with us, make sure you let me know so we can let you know where we're gonna be. We're gonna be in the lobby.
Easy.
Well,
easy.
Super secret. We're gonna be in the lobby. So we'll shut it down at 9. The meeting will end at 9 on Friday night, but then we'll just move on out to the lobby and continue hanging out and networking until we have to go to bed, because we got to get up bright and early Saturday morning.
Next day.
We're super excited about it, and we'll see you guys then. Okay.
Karen, appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. All right. Now let me bring on Miss Tanya Hickman. Hi, Tanya.
Hey, Karen.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You're kind of freezing up, or maybe it's me, but we'll do our best. I am very good. Just want to give you an update.
Okay.
Somebody's been sent over to the property in Gladewater, and they are fixing all those things. And the room that we couldn't get into, that is the 3rd bedroom. So hopefully the door will be open and we'll get to the bottom of the mystery room. But anyway,
that is exciting.
Tanya Hickman. Tanya, you are here with PMI Tyler. Is that the name of the company? PMI Tyler.
Yes, PMI Tyler.
All right. Well, tell me all about PMI Tyler and what you guys do and what PMI stands for.
PMI Tyler, we are a short-term rental property management company here in the East Texas area. We service pretty much all of the East Texas area, from Forney all the way up to Mount Pleasant area, over to the edge of Marshall, down south as far as you can go, and all around. So we do short-term rentals, 30 days or less. It's more like a Airbnb, VRBO, if y'all are familiar with those.
Yep.
We get with homeowners, real estate agents, investors. We work with a lot of investors that come to us that want to turn their any type of home that they have that they're looking at investing in, that they're on the fence about. They'll turn it into a short-term rental, and that's what we do. We manage it for them. We handle
Awesome.
everything from check-ins to check-outs to maintenance to guest relations, accounting. We handle it all.
That's wonderful. That is a service that is definitely needed.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the difference can we talk about the difference between short-term rentals and mid-term rentals and long-term rentals?
Long-term is anything with a long-term lease. That's if you're going to look 30 days or more. If you're looking for that, that's more of a long-term base. Short-term is anything basically 28 days or less. We do work with a bunch of people that come in that if they're in for like traveling nurses per se that want to stay a little bit longer, then we have a separate document that they would sign up under for that, that we would classify that as. We work with a little bit of both. It just depends on the category that they come in and they want to stay for. So short terms, pretty much you can figure that as like a vacation, or if they're coming in for family, or, traveling through the area and needing something 1 or 2 days. Long term is if they have like Eastman, we cater to a bunch of those, nurses for the hospitals, anything that if they're needing that for a little bit of more of a long term.
Okay. Do you have because that is the question that I get often, is how do I get my property in front of traveling nurses?
There is a site that we work closely with, and any property owner that asks us, hey, I want a little bit more exposure, like maybe put it on a nursing site. We use a site called Furnish Finder.
Okay.
And we present your property on there. We put your property on there, display it just like we would on our platforms. Whenever you sign on with PMI Tyler, it goes out to multiple platforms, whether it's VRBO, Airbnb, Expedia, HomeAway, all of those, the top, even Google.
I heard there's like 56 on your platform, which is what makes y'all's platform unique.
Yes, there's a lot. Furnish Finder just adds a little bit more to it, where if a nurse, I guess they're looking for a certain area, that property specific is on there.
That's awesome. So could be now I had a short-term rental. By the way, the one that we were talking about up in the lake area has been resold again. So
oh wow,
it was for sale again. So I guess that's where that went. But anyway, that was the challenge with the short-term rentals that I had at the lake, was that scheduling. If you have it on more than one platform, you have to be really cognizant of the schedules. Except y'all's, I lost your picture. There you are. There you are. You're back. Y'all's platform manages that schedule across all platforms, right? Oh, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Nope. Your mic isn't connected. I think we lost something. Can you hear me? Give me the thumbs up. Can you hear me? Oh, I lost her. Okay, well, that was fun. Okay, so PMI Tyler, maybe she'll come back on. PMI Tyler and actually PMI Big Techs. I think that's it. For Marco Bourbano are going to be presenting at our expo. And let me bring up that information. You can go to realimpactplano.com. You can go to realimpactplano.com and click on the Dream Team, Building Your Dream Team Expo. It is going to be happening March 3rd and 4th. Let's see if I can find a slide of that. Oh, there's Tanya. There she is. Hey, Tanya. I guess you had to reconnect.
What happened?
I guess you had to reconnect. Your mic crashed, and then you crashed,
Yes.
and then you came back. So
I don't know what happened. I'm sorry.
that's okay. So go ahead and finish
Yes.
telling me about the calendar being across all the platforms. Oh, hon, I think your connection is just really bad.
Yes. So the way that our platforms are on there, and I'm
Oh, Tanya, we can't hear you at all.
your property live.
Yours is breaking up really, really bad.
If
You may-
somebody
Tanya, I'm going to have to take you off. You crashed again. Okay. All right, back to it. Let's see. Let me find my slide. All right, so the expo is going to be happening March 3rd and 4th at Spring Hill Suites in Denton, Texas, and you can use the promo code HOME to get $100 off your ticket. Tickets are $197, but if you enter the promo code HOME, you can get it for $97. We're going to go from on Friday, March the 3rd, from 5:30 to 9 p.m., and then we're going to start again Saturday morning, March 3rd, from 8 to 5. We're going to have, I think we have 15 presenters scheduled to come in and give you 30 minutes of education and tell you why you need them on your team to have your perfect real estate investor dream team. And that's what this expo is about. It's about bringing together our often requested referrals, always getting referrals for a CPA, for someone to manage your short-term rentals, for someone to close your subject to transaction, for someone to find you insurance. We have so many people coming on, and we're going to be talking with each of them individually over the next week and a half that we have left before 2.5 weeks before the expo. We're going to do our best to get all of them brought to you. And I see Miss Tanya's back. So let's see if we can try this one more time. Are you there?
I'm here. Leave it to me. I promise my presentation is not this bad.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I understand all about technology. I do this every week, and my camera wasn't working when we first started this off tonight, and it was because there's a little privacy switch on the side of my computer that if it's clicked, there's no camera, and I'm over here going, "There's no way.
There's no way."
Sometimes if I have Zoom on, it won't let me start StreamYard because Zoom is using my camera.
Oh my
I have to remember to go in and turn that off.
It's the little things.
But I knew that it was working because it was working an hour ago. So
wow. Yeah, I have nothing.
I think it's probably just your connection. So
probably.
But anyway, we were talking about the calendar because I can go back and edit this and make it fine. So
okay,
tell me about the calendar.
So it would be like if you onboarded with me and I am putting your property on Making It Live. And somebody goes on and they're checking out your property and they said, "Ooh, I really want to book this property." Well, you're live on all those platforms, but they've clicked that one platform, either VRBO, Airbnb, HomeAway, Expedia, Google, whichever one it is. It's going to make those dates on all those other platforms blacked out. It's going to gray them out until they get ready to book. They have a certain amount of time in the queue to book before it opens it back up. So they just can't sit there and ponder on it for a few hours or even the next day. It's going to open them back up within a certain amount of time. So it doesn't get that double booking and you're not in that disarray of, oh, I got to call such and such and I've got to unscramble all this. No, it blacks it out and it works within itself. So that's what kind of makes us unique from everybody else, that we can manage all those platforms in one stationary platform.
I have actually experienced that. I've experienced going on to one of the, I think it was VRBO, and having a discussion in our office about which one we were going to choose, and went to push book and it was no longer available.
Right. Happened before many times.
And I've also experienced where I booked something and then had somebody else look at it. They said, "Oh my gosh, it's no longer available." And I was like, "What?" It's showing available on my end. And it was because I had booked it. Of course, it's no longer available.
Right. It's the little things, I'm telling you. I mean, you've got to be precise, and every property it's just tedious. I mean, you have to go in there and make sure everything is right and correct, and all the wording is correct, and all the amenities are correct. I mean, that's what I do. Like I take every property and I build it. And
Yes.
then whenever we hit live, it goes out to all of them, and it's a work of art from there. You just watch the bookings come in.
Yep, exactly. What you were talking about how tedious it is. So whenever I had the motel rooms on Airbnb, they didn't understand that every time I put a new one on, it was starting from scratch.
Yes.
You can copy it, create a duplicate or whatever it's called, but it only takes over so much of the information. You still have to go in right down to the pet policy per unit. And it was very tedious getting all of that in there and then going in and making sure, okay, let's concentrate on this property. What does it have that this one doesn't have? And it's a lot of work. But it's kind of a do it one time and it's one and done, unless things change. Maybe maybe the coffee pot is no longer a coffee pot. Now it's a Keurig. That makes a difference. I've actually stayed in places, and I always, when I was traveling a lot and staying in a lot of Airbnbs, I took my own Keurig coffee pods because I liked a specific kind.
Right.
And if I got to one and they didn't have a Keurig, I'm like,
but it said,
how do I make? No, I never thought about that. I just assumed that every place would have a Keurig, and not the case. And I really have learned my fair share of learning how to work a Keurig, because I didn't know that, like the ones that are the single cup, that literally however much water you pour in is how much water is coming out.
Oh yeah.
So I couldn't just fill it up for the day like I was used to doing. Talk about making a mess.
Well, on top of how to establish of fixing a pot of coffee, picture having to figure out model number is on of what type of Keurig you put in the Airbnb listing, so they're not upset that you put the wrong model in. And yeah. It's going back to the word tedious, you have to make sure everything is spot on.
And going back to first world problems, complaining that you said that it was a model XYZ and it was a model ABC.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yes, girl.
It's like, honey, there are worse things to have to worry about right now.
Go explore the world.
Yes, go enjoy. I did have one out of the fishing place, and it was called the Fishing Suite. And I had this couple book it, and the next day, one of the couple called and said, "Hey, is there any way I can cancel the rest of our stay?" And I said, "Oh, is there a problem?" And they said, "Well, it's not a problem, but it's just not romantic like I was expecting." And I'm like, what part of my listing says anything about being romantic? I mean, it's called a fishing suite, for goodness sake. But it was really funny. And she said, it's there's no problem. It's just not romantic as what we figured. And so I booked 3 days, and I said, "Okay, look, I can't refund all the fees, but I can definitely take the last 2 days off. But you'll still be charged the cleaning fee and all that stuff." So I was helpful with that and did give her that part back. But it was hilarious. And I'm sorry.
Yeah. You're almost tempted to say, I can point you in the direction of a nice dock that you could put candles on and watch the sunset.
Yes. I think actually one of the girls at the front had actually gotten a bottle of wine and some candles and left in the suite, because in the message it did say our anniversary or something. And she's like, "Oh, I should do this." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." And,
that's the personal touches that we at PMI do as well. We ask them if they have any kind of celebration that they're coming in for, whether it's birthday, anniversary, any type of party or anything that they have that they're celebrating, and I'll go out and get a basket of some sort to categorize it by what they're coming in for and leave it there upon check-in. So, I mean, it's the little things that make them feel warm and fuzzy inside, but
Sure.
it's the whole overall satisfaction that we're looking for. At the end of the year stay, was it nice? And what could we do to improve? You know, just the little things.
Awesome. Well, Tanya, I'm certainly looking forward to hearing you guys and about all the different things. It's another one of those niches that a lot of people don't know about.
Right.
A lot of people try to do it themselves, and it's a lot of work.
So true. So true.
And plus, you guys have the connections that an average person wouldn't have. You can give that advice. So this is where you should buy your sheets. This is where you should buy your TVs. This is where you should get your shampoo and conditioners. Oh, I think you froze again. But you're frozen the cutest way. There you are.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the way that I tell people that ask me, well, what makes you stand out? We're not an 800 number.
Right.
I'll give you my personal cell phone number. And if you need me, I don't care what time it is, call me. I'm here to answer all your questions, just like your guests. Normally, 9 chances out of 10, the guest will wind up with my personal cell phone number, and we will text throughout their stay. I mean,
That's right.
it's just the personal, about it. I don't want to have to go somewhere and stay and have to call an 800 number and be on hold for 60 minutes just to get one simple question answered,
Yes. I've actually run into that in San Diego. The code was not changed for us to get in. Our code was not correct, and we couldn't check in. We couldn't get in our unit, and it was quite frustrating. But the owner did come. He came over and fixed it, and then we actually ended up switching to a different one of his units when we checked out of that one. We were kind of Airbnb hopping in not San Diego, Los Angeles.
That's not good.
Yeah. And so he was like, I have another unit right down the road here, because we were talking about we were going to be checking out. He's like, where are y'all going next? And we said, we don't know yet. We're just kind of Airbnb hopping until we finish our vacation. And he said, oh, you should check out my other unit. And it was a garage conversion. I think it was a garage conversion. And it still had a garage, 1-car garage was still left as the garage. And then we had like a king size bed, and it had a projector that came down from the ceiling. And so it was the divider between the living room and the bedroom.
Okay.
And so the kids slept in the living room on the I guess they were futons. I can't remember now if they were futons or what, but the kids enjoyed it. It was a great experience. They were right down, we walked to Santa Monica Pier.
Oh, wow.
It was great. It was really a cool trip.
There you go. There you go. Well,
All right.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody and networking and
well, we're a fun group.
Everybody.
Good deal.
And seeing you.
That's right. That's right. And Renee and Doug will be there. Renee and Doug, Tim and Gabi, you haven't met them yet. They're from Wichita Falls and Denton, off Real Impact, Denton and Wichita Falls. They work with Marco. Marco is in charge of has one of their properties that's an Airbnb, but he has it booked through like the end of May to some traveling nurses or something. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and we have one of Doug and Renee's too. So,
yep,
very nice.
There you go. All right, Tanya. Well, we will see you March 3rd and 4th, and I'll keep you posted on that property in Gladewater. Maybe we'll be adding that to your repertoire.
Excited. All right, girl. You have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty, that is it. We'll go back to this. If you'd like to purchase a ticket to our expo, that's going to give you a full day and a half of networking and education and team building for your real estate investing business. You can actually bring a friend for $97, and we have all kinds of things in store for you guys. I'll run through our presenters list real quick. Let's see, slides. Expo sponsor slides. It probably has the sample on there. Let's go to the next one. Okay, add to stream. All right, we have New Western is coming to talk about acquisitions and dispositions for your real estate investing company. We have Backflip. It's a free app that helps you analyze your REI deals using MLS comps. It also has a lot of other things that you can use on this free app. You can use it on your cell phone or on your computer. We have Blazing Star Capital, that's an asset-based lender. That's Tim and Gabi Lockhart's company. And let me take this off. There we go. That way you can see the bottom of the slide. You have to pause it because YouTube won't let me post phone numbers in the comments. I learned that the hard way. We have Gabi Lockhart. She's with American Mortgage. She'll show you how you can use your mortgages on your investment properties to get your properties, DSCR loans, and getting your tenants or your owner finance buyers to be able to cash you out. We also have Quest Trust IRA, Quest Trust Services. They're going to be coming talking to us about investing with your self-directed IRA. We have Steve Sabaji and Colin Taylor coming to talk about that. Then we have our food sponsored by Jimmy John's, and that is David and Vivi Caballero out of the Real Impact HEB location. Their Jimmy John's is at Jimmy John's TCU. That's over at 3021 University Drive there in Fort Worth. Mine is about keeping up with the chaos, keeping your numbers and contracts and contacts all under control with using a CRM. And that's it for those. We also have some other ones. Let's see if I can find those. Present slides. Sponsor slides. Let's go with add to stream. Okay. Actually, from Quest, we have Pamela McLeod and Derek Long coming, not Steve and Colin. Let's see. Blazing Star. Oh, Aiden Ibarra is going to be coming and talking about, he's a CPA, and they also have an amazing new platform coming out. It's called Methodical Platforms that allows you to do a deep analysis of your properties. We're not talking about determining the after repair value. We're talking about determining exactly how much money that you can hope to make off your properties, especially if it has a specific unit mix, like 10 3-bedrooms, 2 baths, 5 3-bedroom, 1 baths, 15 2-bedroom, 2 baths, 10 2-bedroom, 1 baths, and 20 1-bedroom, 1 bath. So it is able to analyze all that based on the exact unit mix of the properties. It's really cool. And especially the fact that he's going to be talking about saving you money on your taxes because he's a CPA and a financial analyst. So we're excited about that. We have August REI coming. This is Amy Sayer. She owns August REI. They are note servicing. So if you have a owner finance property or you bought a property subject to any kind of wrap, anything like that, and you need somebody else to make the payment for you or accept the payments and then pay you, they're the ones to call. We also have Accruit. This is Ronnie Sterling. He's coming to us from Accruit, the 1031 exchange qualified intermediary. Now, what's interesting about a 1031 exchange is you can't hold the money yourself. 1031 exchange qualified intermediary has to hold those funds until you are ready to purchase your other property. So that's their specialty, and they're definitely people to have on our teams. And there's mine, and then Jimmy John's, and that's it. And then we've welcomed our newest ones, which are Christian Alva and Jenna Honeycutt with Allegiance Title. And then we have Marco Bourbano and Tanya Hickman with PMI. One's PMI Tyler, one's PMI Big Tex. So we're pulling these together from everywhere. Oh, we also had Ruth Begley from RVP Insurance. Come on earlier talking about the if you need health insurance, if you're self-employed, or if you are self-employed and have employees that you need to offer insurance to. So there we go. All right, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys at the expo. Bye.